Then moving on, the man who first worked on designing GST network says it will take only a few weeks for everyone to adjust to this new regime. In an exclusive interview with CNBC TV 18, Nandan Nilekani said 8 million companies in India now have a digital signature, which will make it easier for them to raise credit.
I'm really delighted that GST has been finally rolled out. 7 years back, this was in 2010, July of 2010, at that time Finance Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, entrusted me the job of designing the GSTN and creating the vehicle, the company which was set up called GSTN. And so I led a committee which did both the technical design as well as the architecture of the firm, which is a very unique architecture where the central government and the state government are both equal shareholders, 24.5% each. So all that was done thanks to the leadership of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee and Mr. Asim Dasgupta, who was at that time chair of the Empowered Committee. And then Mr. Chidambaram came as the finance minister, and then Mr. Sushil Modi of Bihar came as the head of the Empowered Committee, and they continue to give full support. So, I played a role in making the GSTN happen, and I'm really delighted that now it's taking off. I'm sure there'll be, a few weeks of adjustment as people learn how to pay in the new system, how to file returns, how to take input tax credits. So there are going to be a certain number of milestones to cross, but I'm sure that that will settle down. And after that, GSTN will have huge GST will have huge transformational benefits for the country. Single tax, easier to do business. You decide to locate your warehouses and your factories where it makes sense. And very importantly, 8 million businesses will have a digital record of their business, which then they can leverage to get credit. So I think this is a transformational change, and we have to congratulate the government as well as all the other political parties for having worked together for this really strategic reform.
Nandan, since you spoke of the GSTN, there are people, including the BJP's own MP, Subramaniam Swamy, who's raised concerns on the manner in which the GSTN has been structured, involving private sector parties and so on and so forth. In fact, to allay some of those concerns, Finance Minister Jaitley has issued a notification saying that the GSTN will now come under the CAG audit. But how do you respond to the criticism that you've heard so far on the structure of the GSTN itself?
I think the GSTN structure was widely debated in the government. It was designed across 2 finance ministers as well as 2 chairmen of the Empowered Committee, as well as with the new government. So I think different governments and different people in the government have looked at it, and they are satisfied with it.
Time for